So good morning to all, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to present on the topic discussing the tumor-inducing eye disfigurement. There is no financial disclosure. Strabismus is the misalignment of visual axis of the eye. Prevalence of 4 to 6%, just affecting over 350 million people worldwide. Visually, it affects the binocular vision of patients, causing amblyopia, diplopia. Cosmetic deformation due to strabismus lowers the emotional quotient of the patient. Mental health disorders were diagnosed in 14.3% patients suffering from SQUIM. 35. Here I am going to talk about the patient who come to the OP, 35-year-old male, comprehensive deviation and loss of vision in the right eye since 1 year. He undergo surgery of meningioma 1 year back, and the details were we didn't get because of the flood. He lost his visual histories and everything. And examination, there is a visual acuity in the right eye is PL negative, and the left eye is 6/9. The anti-segment examination showed presence of ptosis and RAPD, and evaluation of extraocular movement show restriction of adduction and depression in the right eye. Then fundus examination, optic atrophy in the right eye. Here, we can see the extraocular movement in the right eye. There is a reduction in the abduction and the depression. We can appreciate. And an oculoplastic cosmetic procedure was performed in 2 stages in different days. And the first stage will be lateral rectus and inferior rectus recession. That recession slackens the muscle by moving it away from its insertion. And the second stage, superior rectus, it is done after 1 month. Superior rectus and middle rectus resection. And resection shorten a muscle to enhance its effective hold. So stage 2, the photo picture is shown. In this case, that despite the fact that vision in the affected eye cannot be restored, strabismus the procedure were undertaken on the perspective of restoring cosmetic appearance of the eye. Considering the young age of the patient, the restoration of the cosmetic appearance will play a positive role in social and emotional well-being, justifying the need for surgery. Economic factors and lack of awareness among medical communities also contribute towards delay in treatment. Despite the risk of anterior segment ischemia in surgeries of multiple recti, the risk of justifying considering the psychological benefit of the patient after correction. A risk of oculocardiac reflux causing sinus bradycardia in omnipresent is case of strabismus surgeries should be looked out for. In terms of wedding proposal, SQUIM always remains as a factor of stigma. In case of where the vision cannot be restored, providing the patient with a better cosmetic correction will improve the quality of life, mainly by boosting his emotional quotient. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for presentation. And your case is trying to highlight that how the strabismus is cosmetic blemish and we can correct it. But I have a major concern, like as a strabismus specialist, touching to the pore muscle and the risk of anterior segment ischemia over the cosmetic correction is very important. Okay, so anterior segment ischemia is more worrisome than the cosmetic outcome. Especially when we do have the other surgical approaches that are very much available in the literature, and nowadays that has become a standard of care. So in this particular case, probably it's like one can split lateral recti far posterior into the orbit and then transpose that to the the medial rectus, and then you can add on doing both superior and inferior oblique myectomies, and if required you want additional effect, you can always transpose the superior oblique to MR. Or there are other options where rather than doing fore muscle with recess resection, you can do a subperiosteal fixation of LR and then dismantle the effect of LR and then add on other transposition procedures to make the strabismus, the good alignment in primary position.
Yes, sir.
I would like to ask one more thing. Since you're not sticking to what is routinely done, like what is being suggested by one of the judges, was a ethical clearance taken for a particular deviation here? Did you take an ethical clearance for this case?
Sir, this I am not publishing, sir. Just for the case of the discussion of this surgery and due to the cosmetic procedure, I have presented this. Yes, sir.
No, what I am trying to say is that ethical clearance you don't take only for a publication or
Yes, sir, sir. For publication,
we are doing
before
a deviation from what is normally routinely done, and
yes,
that too with the purpose of cosmesis. We don't only take the permission of the patient, but we also take an ethical clearance that this is what is routinely done. So we are going to change routine practice. So did we ask the ethical committee or something like that?
Yes, sir. That one, when we publish, we have to. We have already taken things, sir. I have got, sir.
So you're going to take it, or for the publication, or you've already taken?
No, sir. I have to take, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So if we have a time, I think you should, review some literature on how to deal this group of patients. There's a very nice surgical intervention from Linda Dagi and group from Harvard. You can refer that article. And even, there are the series being reported by Dr. Rohit Saxena and group. So please refer those articles for